Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Cleveland Browns 2012 rebuild and changing their history. We are back. I know I mentioned that in a community post on my channel that these videos were going to be on a pause, but I found myself a loophole where I went offline on EA Play and now everything's working. So until the modders find a true solution to fix the game the right way, this will be how we can continue on with this series. So I'm excited. We had the greatest draft in the history of NFL football, both on real life and on YouTube. In the last episode, we did the 2017 NFL draft, where we not only brought in Ryan Ramczyk, but we brought in Reuben Foster, we brought in TJ Watt, and we brought in Myles Garrett with the #1 overall pick. We are ready to win a Super Bowl, and the best thing about it is our quarterback is a superstar X Factor, Johnny Manziel. It is an unbelievable alternate timeline that we live in, but I couldn't be happier. If you guys are excited, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started. So as mentioned, we've got ourselves our quarterback, Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, Money Manziel, 3 years in the league, X Factor quarterback. He is looking to establish himself as the greatest quarterback in the NFL, and the only way he can do that is by winning a Super Bowl. So that is our goal. We've got a young, developing Derrick Henry with a couple good running backs behind him, and Mark Ingram and Aaron Jones. We've got a couple solid receivers with Randall Cobb and Stephon Diggs and Josh Gordon, who's somehow still here, still developing. Chris Godwin's underneath him. Let's just go ahead and do this real quick. Then our offensive line's pretty good with Travis Frederick, Brandon Scherf, Ramczyk, who I mentioned earlier, Taylor Moton, obviously the stud Joe Thomas. We got Travis Kelce at tight end. On the defense, this is where it gets good. I mean, look at all this red. Look at all these X factors. And I'm assuming Myles Garrett's going to have an X factor as well. I didn't even mention A.J. Bouye, who we have as well. Not A.J. Bouye. Budda Baker is who I wanted to say. But T.J. Watt will start at right outside linebacker as a rookie. Reuben Foster will start in the middle as a rookie. Kevin Pierre-Louis, who's got an X factor last episode, he will be our left outside linebacker. The defensive line is unbelievable with Clowney, Reuben, Donald, and Garrett. It's unstoppable. Our corners are Ramsey and Hayden with Bouye, Coleman, and Quandre Diggs. I mean, it just keeps getting better. There's not a weak spot on this team. There is literally not a weak spot on this entire team, and I don't see how we can't dominate this entire season. Now, our draft capital is not as good, by any means, as what we had last season. I think we had, 4 first-round picks last year? We only have the 1 first-round pick. And then we have a 5 and 2 6s. So 2018's NFL draft is not going to be as exciting or as eventful as 2017's NFL draft, but that's okay, because at this point, we're just looking to upgrade and develop the talent that we already have established. It's not like we're looking to bring in any more talent, although I wouldn't be opposed to it. The top players in the 2018 draft class, you've got Josh Allen, you've got Lamar Jackson. We'll keep him on the board. If Lamar Jackson falls to us, it'd be hard to say no. It would certainly be hard to say no. Running backs, we're not going to be in position for Saquon or Nick Chubb. I know in the Giants series we got Nick Chubb, but we're not going to be in play for either of those guys. And honestly, we don't really need any of these running backs because we have good depth at running back. But I'll put Philip Lindsay on there because I think he's star development. He might be superstar. I can't remember. Wide receivers, I could certainly use an extra receiver. So I'll put DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley on the board. Maybe even a Courtland Sutton. Who else do I want on the board? A lot of these guys are probably not going to be super high overall. I think if we're going to take a receiver, it's going to be at the top of the draft. I'll put Allen Lazard on there, but I think he's only normal development. Tight ends, we don't really need a tight end, although we could use a backup, I guess, because we have what's-his-face. We have Travis Kelce, so Let's see. Gesicki we'll put on there. Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews, Ian Thomas, Dalton Schultz could be interesting. Those will be some options for us. Offensive line, I'll put Colton Miller on there. That's probably about it. Left guards, we can put... We know that Wyatt Teller's only normal development, but we can still put him on the board. Connor Williams, same deal. Centers, Frank Ragnow. Even James Daniels could be something for us. Oh, I got to put Will Clapp on there. Can't forget about Will Clapp. And then right guards, I mean, Quentin Nelson. If he falls to us in the first round, I'd be hard to pass up on him. It would be so hard to pass up on him. And then right tackles, we got Brian O'Neill, Orlando Brown Jr., who we probably would have a good shot at drafting since he is only projected to go second or third round. Left ends, we got Sam Hubbard, Josh Sweat, but we're not really in the market for a starter, so some of these guys could just be backups for us. But remember, we only have a 1, a 5, and then 2 6s, so we gotta keep that in mind. We gotta keep that in mind. We're only gonna be in play for a couple of players. Nobody on the right side. D tackle. I mean, if Vita Vea's on the board, we'll take him, but I doubt he would be. Deron Payne, BJ Hill. There could be some D tackles that we grab. Fatukasi. Anybody else? Probably not. Outside linebackers, I'll put Darius Leonard and Fred Warner on there. Maybe we should try to trade up into the second round to get Fred Warner. That could be something we keep an eye on, but probably not actually, because it might be too tough to trade up to get him. I don't know. We'll have to play it by ear. Tremaine Edmonds I'll put on. Even Josie Jewell. Anybody else? No, not really. Right outside, Harold Landry, Uchenna Nwosu. Even Jawan Bentley could be good. Corners. Who are we going to be in play for? Jair Alexander, maybe. Dante Jackson. Carlton Davis. All these guys could be interesting picks. Teron Johnson. DJ Reed. All right, there's some guys down here. J.C. Jackson and Trey Flowers, both day 3 guys. We could use our 6th round picks on them if they're available. I would certainly not be mad at that. And that's probably about it. And then free safeties, Jesse Bates. Is Jesse Bates really 2018? That's kind of crazy. I feel like he's been in the league for a while. Justin Reed, Jordan Whitehead even. Maybe even a Sean Elliott. Strong safeties. We're not going to be in play for Derwin James, but I'll put him on there nonetheless. Foyesade Oluokun. That's probably going to be it for them as well, isn't it? Yeah, probably. Kickers, Daniel Carlson, Jason Sanders, Michael Badgley. And that's probably about it. I'll put Michael Dixon on there just because he's a punter from Texas. Hook him for Bengal. All right, so that is our board. It looks interesting. We have 1 first-round pick that hopefully will be pretty high in the draft, or pretty low in the draft, because we're going to be hopefully pretty good. What playbooks are we running? Did I change the playbooks? I don't remember. I'm not in the right thing. So we are going to be running, looks like our offensive scheme is going to be vertical zone run, and we're going to be running a 4-3 under. Is that a good one? I mean, it fits our scheme the best. And then we're still running Philadelphia, so I haven't changed them at all. We're still running Philadelphia's playbooks. And I would expect us to absolutely dominate this season, but you never know. Madden Simulation can be pretty weird. I will see you guys at the Week 8 midseason mark, and we will find out how this team is doing. We have arrived at the Week 8 midseason mark, and we sit at 4-2. So not as dominant as I would have wanted, considering our division is the Ravens at 5-2 and the Bengals at 6-1. But we are still right there in competition, right there in play for a playoff spot, and not only that, but the division, as we sit with some good development. Johnny Manziel's playing up to an 87. You love to see it. We're getting some good morale. Foster is now revealed as star development. Garrett has been revealed as an X Factor, which is not a shocker. Buda Baker is star development. So we're just waiting on TJ Watt. How long are we waiting on you? Probably till the end of the season, I would guess. But we'll see. We will see. I like the team. I really do. I think we're good, and I'm ready to do the national focus. I don't even know what our thing is. So we have corner and receiver, and corner is the strength of the class. It's always corner and receiver. So we have a few corners that I'd be interested in. You know what? Let's just do corner. That's the easiest one to do. So we'll just do that. That's fine. Since we only have one pick that really matters. Corner is good enough to do. And let's simulate a couple more weeks till we get to week 11. Hopefully we can rack up some wins. We beat the Chiefs. That's a big W. We take on the Giants now. We're only going to get better because our young guys are only going to get higher overalls, like Myles Garrett, like TJ Watt, like Reuben Foster. So we're only going to be better. And now we've made it to week 11 when we sit at 7-3, I think is what we are at, right? What are we at? We sit at 6-3. The Bengals are at 7-3. So we are right there in play, but we need to use some focus. We need to use some focus points. Who's it going to be on? It is going to be probably Quentin Nelson. I kind of want to use it on Quentin Nelson, but I just don't know if he's going to be on the board when we pick. Since we're going to be a pretty good team this year, we're probably going to be picking in the 20s. I don't know if he makes it to the 20s or not. I'll use it on Fred Warner, because I definitely want to know about Fred Warner. And then we can use it on maybe Derwin. Derwin probably makes it to the late first round. So I'll use it on Derwin. We got Fred Warner already. Let's use the other one on Quentin Nelson, I guess. I might as well. I don't know if we're going to be in play for Quentin Nelson, but if we are, it would help to know just how good he's going to be, even though we know he's going to be pretty freaking amazing. Negotiations, we have a little bit of money, and Johnny Manziel is going to want the max. More than the max. He's going to want the super max. This has just complicated things, but it's okay. We can make it work. How do we pay Johnny Manziel and everybody else? We're going to have to restructure. I just went through this with the Giants in the most recent video. We're going to have to restructure so we can pay Johnny Manziel. Hold on. What does he not like about us? Why does he not want to be here? Because we have no mentor at the position. He likes... This is the most Johnny Manziel motivation I've ever seen. He likes the fact that we have a franchise quarterback himself. That is the most Johnny Manziel motivation I've ever seen in my life. Oh, he likes the fact that we have a franchise quarterback. Oh, who's our franchise quarterback? It's you. I guess I could sign a free agent that has a mentor tag. Maybe that would help out a little bit. Who's got mentor tag? Jamarcus Russell has mentor tag, but so does Carson Palmer. I feel like we got to go for like Carson Palmer. We can't really go for Russell, can we? We can go for Jamarcus. Let's sign Jamarcus Russell to a deal. Why the F not? Now we have to cut somebody. It'll probably just be the quarterback that we have on the roster already. How many quarterbacks do we have on the roster? We have Trayvon Boykin, Jamarcus Russell, and... Okay, we could probably cut Trayvon, but I'll keep him here so we can have 3 quarterbacks, I guess. We can cut... Who should we cut? Oh, these guys. I like all these guys. I want to keep all these guys on the team. We might have to cut... I mean, we can cut Dre Archer. I guess I only have him here for the speed factor. Let's cut Dre Archer. All right, so now we have a quarterback mentor. Does that change his values? I might have to simulate a week. I'll save Johnny Manziel for a little bit because we can definitely get him a little bit easier. Let's go and restructure some contracts. It's our favorite time of the year. Restructuring deals. So let's restructure AJ Bouye. It's not going to cost us too much, but we can certainly do that. We just signed him to a new deal, I think, just this past year, or this past episode. We'll restructure Joe Hayden. I think we've already done his contract a couple of times, but we can restructure him to move some money back. Who else can we restructure? We can restructure Atiba Rubin, certainly, because he's 31. Oh, we can't. Okay. So we can't restructure Atiba Rubin. We can restructure Travis Kelce, even though I think we just re-signed him last episode. So that should be freeing up a ton of money. Who else needs new contracts? Uh-oh. We're getting close to having to sign Aaron Donald and Jadeveon Clowney. That's not going to be good. Myles Garrett, Randall Cobb. We could probably restructure Cobbs, right? Yeah, we can restructure Randall Cobbs. Okay, so how much money did that free up? We already had 29 million. What do we have now? We have 97 million. Look at that. Perfect. Look at the making it all work. Making it all work. So now we can easily sign Johnny Manziel once we simulate a week and see if that changes now that we have Jamarcus Russell on the team. So let's get to, we already did the focus player, so let's simulate the week past the Bengals. This is going to be a tough game because the Bengals are really, really good this year. And we beat them 36-17. That's a huge win. Huge, huge win. We now take sole possession of first place in the division. And we beat them bad, too, 36-17. Okay, let's take a look at Johnny Manziel. He doesn't want to be here still? We have a mentor at the position, Johnny. Come on, my guy. I know you don't like that we have income tax in Ohio, but, I mean, we've got the money. So come back. We have a mentor now. There he is. That's our mentor. Wait, does he still have the tag? Can I see it from here? I can't see it from here. Brandon Scherff will accept the option on. We probably could... Nah, he doesn't want to be here. We'll probably just have to accept the option on him. I was going to say we could probably just get away with signing him to a regular deal, but we'll accept the option. I'm going to hold off on these guys until we see if Johnny Manziel's interest changes. So let's keep simulating. I really hope it does. It's going to help us out if he wants to be here. Oh, we lose by a point to the Cowboys. That's brutal loss. Now we play the Dolphins. Can we beat the Dolphins? We do. They were really close with us as well. This is a tight division. It's a very, very tight division. All the teams are good this year, which is not good for us. Because the Bengals are now 9-4. We're 8-4. Ravens are 7-5. The Steelers are not great, but they're still 5-7. And Johnny Manziel still hasn't changed. I feel like it's even gone up. The fact that we don't have a mentor at the position. Did Jamarcus Russell lose his mentor tag? Does he not have mentor now? Does he not have mentor tag? I could have sworn he did. That's why we signed him. Generate best. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't. If it's because I didn't generate the best lineup, that's going to be super frustrating. Because there he is. He's got mentor tag. If it's gonna be because I didn't generate the best lineup, I'm gonna be super frustrated. Because I wasted like a couple of weeks where I could have signed him. Did that change his motivation? Oh my god. He was on the team! Oh, I hate this game. Alright, so Johnny Manziel wants to be here, so we don't have to pay him as much money as we were going to. But we can give him a 7-year deal and absolutely go crazy. This is going to kill us in the future. But Johnny Manziel has returned on a 7-year Supermax offer. He is now our starting quarterback for the next 7 seasons. Oh my god, we just did that. Wow, that's insane. And I can't believe it's because we didn't generate the best lineup. We got to bring back Kevin Pierre-Louis, absolutely. We don't have a mentor at the position at right outside linebacker. That might help us save a little bit of money. Maybe we could make that happen. Okay, hold on. Let's go take a look at free agency. See if there's anybody at the right outside linebacker position that is a mentor that we can bring in. Bridge player, bridge player. Okay, a couple mentor players. You got DJ Williams. Brandon Watts is here. Thomas Howard. Leroy Hill. Not a ton of options. Kevin Burnett, that might be a guy. Then Jonathan Casillas. He's only a bridge player, though. I thought it said mentor. All right, not a ton of options. I think I'm going to go with Kevin Burnett. I think we're going to sign Kevin Burnett to the team. That adds a mentor at the position, which should, in theory, allow us to sign Kevin Pierre-Louis to a cheaper deal. So now we don't have anybody there that I want to cut. I don't want to cut anybody here. Can't cut Deion Buchanan. We got to have a corner that I don't want, right? No, I want all these corners. I'm hoarding corners. It's probably not a good idea. Do we have too many kickers, maybe? No. We have the right amount of special teamers. There's got to be somebody that I don't want here. Michael Pierce at 24. Maybe I can move into the practice squad. Yeah, I'll move into the practice squad. There we go. All right, so we keep Michael Pierce unless somebody signs him, I guess. You can have him if you want him. But now let me generate the best lineup. Nope, that's NFL rosters. Let me generate the best lineup possible so that Kevin Pierre-Louis has a mentor at the position. Generate best lineup. Kevin Burnett is now on the team officially, even though he's on the team already. So that should help out Kevin Pierre-Louis and make us not have to sign him to... Yes, he wants to be here now. Now we shouldn't have to sign him to a crazy amount of money. This is much more reasonable than what we were going to have to pay him. And he's excited to come back, so I'm very happy about that. TJ Ward we can get back on a cheaper deal. Maybe not a cheaper deal. How about this? How's that? He's coming back for 2 seasons. Joel Bitonio, Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon wants too much money. That's going to be difficult. I think we'll save the rest of these guys. I'll bring back Corey Linsley. See what he says to that. He's coming back. Okay, perfect. So we have 33 million. Jake Matthews, he's not going to want too much either. How about that? He's happy to come back. Okay. So we have 31 million. The rest of these guys don't want too much. Dan Carpenter we should bring back. We'll give him a 7-year deal. He's 31 years old. We'll give him a 3-year deal. 3 million, 2.5. That's a lot for a kicker, but hey, whatever. 26 million to bring back Joel Bitonio, Hernandez, Josh Gordon, all these guys. Okay, we'll save that for the offseason. We got the big one. We got, well, the 2 big ones, but we got the major one, which is Johnny Manziel. We got him to come back on a Supermax deal, 7 seasons. So much money. So much money. But he signed it. He agreed to the contract. He's locked in. I just can't believe that. And we got a breakout quarterback thing, even though he's an X factor already. I still can't believe that he said that one of his big motivators was he wanted a franchise quarterback, and he is the franchise quarterback. Oh, that's the most Johnny Manziel thing I've ever seen in my life. But this breakout quarterback thing really doesn't matter except for XP, I guess. Because he's already an X factor, so he can't go up another development trait. They should really add another development trait, like a platinum development trait or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. We beat the Eagles. Did he have a good enough game? Is he going to get the XP? Any thoughts? Oh, that means he didn't do good. Not too much. All right. So I didn't want him to get it anyway. He didn't need it. But now we play the Bengals, and this is for the division. If we beat the Cincinnati Bengals here, we will win the AFC North. If we don't, we won't. And we beat them 28-13, so more than likely we will win the AFC North here. We have to play Tampa Bay, who is also very good at 12-4. Can we beat them? I'm not sure if we're going to be able to. We do by 1 point. 13-4 is good enough for the best in the division. And we have a bye in the wild card round because we are the 1 seed. That's a crazy. That is a crazy season. We beat the Bengals and win the division. All right, we take on the Ravens in the AFC divisional round. Let's take a look at these stats. How did our $100 million man play? I mean, that's just a phenomenal season. 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, 3 picks from our franchise quarterback, Johnny Football. Love to see it. Derrick Henry had 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. Johnny Manziel even had almost 500 yards with 8 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs continues to prove that it was the right idea to trade him, or to draft him. 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Randall Cobb even had a bunch of yards and a few touchdowns. Travis Kelce did good. Josh Gordon did good too, but he's done good for the past 4 years or whatever. On the defense, Kevin Pierre-Louis, 113 tackles, led the team. 107 from the rookie. Okay. Joe Hayden had 88, 86 from TJ Ward. Bouye had 85. Tackle for loss leader was Aaron Donald with 21. Clowney had 12. Garrett had 11. 10 for Ruben. Sack leader was Donald with 11.5. Ruben had 9. Garrett had 6. 4.5 for Clowney. We had the interception leader was Foster. Man, Reuben Foster. That's a really good season. Kevin Pierre-Louis also had 3. So did Joe Hayden. 2 for Bouye, and a couple guys had 1. All right. All right. We move to the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens, who are 9-8, but knowing Madden, they will probably screw us out of a victory here. I just hope that it doesn't happen. It's 1 versus 6, 2 versus 5, and then over on the NFC side, it's Washington Falcons 1-5, and then Packers and Bucks, which is what I'm covering. It's 2 versus 3. This is going to be tricky. We're clearly the better team, but Madden doesn't always see it that way. So let's get this done. 13-4, 9-8. Come on, you got to give it to me. You got to give it to me. 34-28, big time victory over the Baltimore Ravens, the division rivals. And now we take on the Colts in the AFC title game. I'm pretty sure they were the 2 seed. Yeah, they had to have been. They're 12-5. Andrew Luck is a true 99 with Superstar X Factor. He's developed pretty well, as you would expect. This is a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. It's Tampa versus Atlanta in the NFC side of things at 3 versus 5, so it looks like Washington fell, and so did Green Bay. Both the top seeds fall in the NFC side of things, but the top 2 seeds in the AFC side have moved on. It's going to be a big battle. Let's go get it done. A trip to the Super Bowl is on the line. Colts and Browns, first Super Bowl appearance of the rebuild, is going to happen 31-13. That's a big W, and we will take on the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. Oh, I don't want to trade Joel Bitonio. We will take on the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. We have made the Super Bowl for the first time in the rebuild. We just won the Super Bowl recently in the Giants series. So if we could do it again with the Browns this time, that would be unbelievably cool. Taking on the Falcons, who are 11-6. They're not too shabby. They beat the Buccaneers 28-23. This is going to be tough. They are the 5 seed, but if your 5 seed is 11-6, you had a really good, really strong division, really strong conference. Their offense is really good. Their defense is not so good. We could take advantage of that, and we can win the Super Bowl. Let's go get ourselves our first Lombardi of the series. We might as well take a look at what the Falcons have to work with this season. They've got Matt Ryan, obviously, as their starter. Jerick McKinnon and Duke Johnson are their running backs. Then they've got Julio, still with the long hair, although his player model doesn't have the long hair. Tyler Boyd, T.Y. Hilton, Quincy Enunwa. Very interesting receiving core. Obviously, Julio's an unstoppable monster. Brandon Bostic at tight end. Offensive line is Sam Baker. Dan Feeney, Jim Cordell, Peter Cons, and Tyson Klabo. So it's not a great offensive line, but it's good enough. Defensive line, this is the weak part of their team, or the weak side of the ball for them. Tyrone Holmes, Eric Armstead, and Sharif Floyd. Linebackers are Sean Witherspoon, Kelvin Shepard, and Jeremiah Tacho. And then the corners are DRC, Dwayne Gratz, Alteron Werner, Justin Burris, and R.D. Burns. Safeties are Calvin Pryor and Justin Evans. So I can see certainly why their team is not as good as their defense isn't as good as their offense. Their offense is pretty solid. But we'll see if our combination of great offense and defense can be enough to suffocate them and win the Super Bowl. It's 3-3. It's been a defensive battle, it looks like. Another field goal by the Falcons. Come on, guys, you're scaring me here. It's 13-3. Into the second half now. I don't like the fact that we haven't scored yet. We've kicked a field goal, but it is very scary. We are in the third quarter. We've got our X-Factor quarterback. We've got our $1 million man, Johnny Football, who's trying to become a Super Bowl MVP. Not that read option, that's for sure. Maybe a shallow cross. What do we got here? Diggs. Do I have Hot Route Master on? I don't think I have Hot Route Master on for Manziel. I need to change that. Let's go down underneath to Randall Cobb. He's got space. He turns up the field. Randall Cobb, huge play. That's what I'm talking about. That's a beautiful catch and run. We'll go with a double slant spot because Kelsey could get open corner end zone, or it could be underneath on the slant. I don't like anything I got here. Derrick Henry. It's going to be none of those guys. It's going to be Derrick Henry. Breaks a tackle, steps out of bounds of the 2. I didn't think about Derrick Henry at all, but out of the backfield, that was the best option, especially with guys in my face. They were coming hard, and I did not like it. Second and goal from the 2. Henry, touchdown. Browns are back in it. The Browns are back in this game, in the Super Bowl. You love to see it. So we will continue simulating. The defense needs to step up, and the offense needs to step up. Uh-oh, that's a big play. Falcons have scored. It's 20-10. I don't like this one iota. We are from the 44. I don't like this. It's fourth quarter. I don't know what happened. It's going to be knocked incomplete. For some reason, the right tackle just gave up blocking. I don't know what happened there. That was so weird. I thought I had more time than I did. He just, like, stopped blocking. We got bailed out there. That was close. Luckily, it wasn't incomplete. Or, it was incomplete. It wasn't picked off. That's a risky throw, but it's Stefon Diggs. He holds on. The X-Factor receiver holds on for a big catch. And now we got a possible Josh Gordon sighting. Oh, I think Manziel can hit this. Johnny football! Josh Gordon dove after it, but he couldn't get it. I was wrong. Manziel can't make that throw. At least not in that spot. He couldn't. Second down and 10. Come on, boys. We got to win the Super Bowl here. We got to play better. We'll go with a levels concept. It's going to be Chris Godwin, the young rookie. Makes a big play in the Super Bowl. And then a vertical route. Is that a move? I mean, it's a move. Out of the backfield, it's Jones. Aaron Jones. Okay, I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Because that just allows for me to throw corner end zone out of bounds. That's probably the best option that I could have had there. That is probably the best option. All right, where do we go with this ball? Probably Josh Gordon. Maybe Travis Kelce. I gotta hit him. It's gonna be Gordon. Josh Gordon, of all people, has made the touchdown catch in the Super Bowl to get us back in this game. Of all the people it could have been, it was Josh Gordon. Who would have thunked it? And now we've gotten the ball in great field position with a chance to take the lead in the Super Bowl. And what happened here? Did you get a false start? A false start? I was trying to hot route, or I was trying to audible. We've got ourselves a false start. That's not the greatest start to the drive. 2 minutes and 6 seconds. This will probably be the final play before 2-minute warning. I will roll, and I'll try to fire it in. It's going to be knocked incomplete. Diggs could not make the catch. That would have been a pretty tough catch to make anyway. It would have been awesome if he would have done it, but he's not able to do it. Let's go underneath the Kelce, incomplete because Manziel didn't have the right angle on him. Or Kelce didn't turn the field the right way. I'm not sure what happened there, but it did not work out. It is 3rd and 15. I think we're in field goal range nonetheless. I am going to send Travis Kelce on a streak to kind of clear out that middle side there. But it doesn't really work that way. Can I get this? Is that going to be caught? Randall Cobb at the 3-yard line. I didn't want to do run after the catch because I didn't know if he was going to step out of bounds. But Johnny Manziel pulls out the Manziel magic with that throw. That looked like a throw against Alabama. And now we're at the 3. 1st and goal. Henry bulldozing his way. A flag. Please don't be a hold. It is going to be a hold on the offense. I can't believe it. Oh, it's Aaron Hernandez of all people. We're at the 13-yard line after the hold. That's brutal. That's a brutal, brutal call. Slanting Aaron Jones on this one. Could be a bad idea, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to step up with Johnny Manziel. Probably a wrong move. I thought I was going to be faster. Johnny Manziel's speed just isn't quite fast enough. Oh, Denzel Perryman getting a little chippy there. Chip. 2nd and goal. That was probably a waste, but I didn't like any of the routes anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We can't get a first down. We have to remember that. No first downs are possible, and I just threw a pick in the Super Bowl down by a minute because Okay, let's go over what happened just there. Let's just go over what happened here. I thought that he was going to make a move here. Who is this? Is this Josh Gordon? It is Josh Gordon. But he just stands behind him. He has all this open space over here. I mean, look at all this open space that I was going to try to throw into. But he just stood behind him, so then when I threw it, it was already too late. It was going to get picked off. I hate this game, bro. All that open space, and he just does that. So now we have to use the one timeout we have, and we lose the Super Bowl because of it. Oh, we lost in the Super Bowl because of the pick that I threw. But it's not my fault. That's not my fault. That's brutal. It's brutal. We had a chance to win the Super Bowl for the first time in the series, and we lose it 20-17. We just got to move on. God, that sucks. That really sucks. The fact that we lost that. Wow. Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. Season recap. Matt Ryan is your MVP of the Super Bowl. We don't win any awards. Hassan Reddick for the Ravens and Trent Taylor for the Commanders. They win the respective Rookies of the Year. And RG3 is actually the MVP of the league this year. So at least we get to see a new face. That's pretty good. Okay, so heading into the offseason with no money and no Super Bowl is kind of depressing, if we're being totally honest. Let's take a look, see if we got any upgrades. Did we get any upgrades on development traits? I don't notice anything on the offensive side. We know officially that Godwin's a star. I will make Stephon Diggs my number 1, by the way. And then on defense, any upgrades? Reuben Foster's superstar. He was only star originally. That's the one noticeable change. Atiba Rubin's starting to regress pretty heavy. Just getting a little sad. What a story he was, though. He was a normal development, like 70-something overall, and he becomes an X Factor. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we're not going to be able to bring any of these guys back. We will accept the option on Brandon Scherff, though. Batonio will leave. Hernandez will leave. Josh Gordon will leave. Okay. That sucks. But we don't have any money, and I don't think I can work my magic and restructure any more deals. I think I restructured all the ones that were expensive in the first place. So free agency, Zach Ertz is interesting, but we can't get him, obviously. There's some actually pretty decent offensive linemen in this class, but we obviously can't afford to get anybody, so we will look for the draft. This is going to be a non-eventful offseason because we can't spend any money because we don't have any, and we only have the 1 first-round pick and then like a 5 and 2 6s. So it's not like we can make big splashes in the draft. But I guess it depends on who we draft. If we draft Quentin Nelson, that would be a pretty big splash. If we draft... Who else was I thinking about? There was a couple other guys that I was thinking about. I can't remember right off the top of my head, though. Who else? I guess we'll have to take a look at the mock draft, see where everything's going. First off, we need to know what our offense looks like, or what our team looks like. So the offensive line is good, but maybe needs... I mean, if we could fit Quentin Nelson right there at right guard, our offensive line would be unstoppable. We definitely need another receiver. We need another running back to pair alongside Jones and Henry, just for depth purposes. We probably do need a quarterback backup. We need depth on the D-tackle side. We need not really much else. I mean, we could use... Basically, we just need depth at every position. But if we could fit Quentin Nelson right at that right guard spot, our offensive line would be unstoppable. Our offensive line would be absolutely unstoppable. I guess we will continue to look at offensive linemen. I'll use one on Frank Ragnow because he could be available. I'll use one on Braden Smith and probably Brian O'Neill. That might be a good pickup. Or maybe Orlando Brown. I'm not really too sure. I think probably Brian O'Neill. So we'll do 3 offensive linemen. Frank Ragnow, Braden Smith, and Brian O'Neill will be our 3 guys. We need to see where we're picking and where the guys that we're interested are going. So Josh Allen's going to be the number 1 overall pick to the Saints. Very interesting. Quentin Nelson's going to go 8 to the Eagles. I don't think there's a way we can trade up to get him. Why couldn't he just fall? We are picking at pick number 31, and there you have us taking Colton Miller, which isn't that bad. Colton Miller's a good player. But Quentin Nelson's he's Quentin Nelson. Oh. Do we try to get him? Do I already have... I'm pretty sure I already have all my stuff upgraded. Yeah, I have all the trade stuff upgraded, so we don't have to worry about that. I just wanted to make sure that I did. I mean, maybe we could trade down and package our first-round pick for a 2nd and a 3rd instead of just getting Quentin Nelson. That might be something. Let me just see how difficult it is to trade up to get the Philadelphia pick. All right, Eagles have pick number 8. We have pick number 31. How hard is it to get? It's honestly not as difficult as I would have wanted it to be, but I don't think that's the smartest idea. So if we could trade up or trade down out of the first round, get 2 guys with like second and third, I feel like that would be a much better idea. So if we could trade with the Saints, that could be something. Let's ask for this from the Saints. What do they think about that? Okay, we'll take out the second round pick. Okay, we can make this work. We can definitely make this work. I can give them a 2024 rounder. Okay. And I can give them a 2019 4th rounder. You think that this... I mean, I know that they're the first picks of the respective rounds, but you think that this would be a little bit easier to trade with. I can also give them a 2026 rounder. And that is declined, okay. What about a 2025 rounder? I'll give them a 2019 7th rounder. Okay, so we trade down in this year's draft. We give them, the Saints, our first round pick, which is pick 31. We give up 2 4s, a 5, and a 7, but we get the top picks in the second and the third rounds. So we've parlayed ourselves out of the Quentin Nelson race, which, to be fair, we probably weren't going to be in that race anyway. But we have managed to probably be able to get Fred Warner and then somebody else. So we'll figure out what we want to do there. But now we need to... Let me just take a look at the players again. Let me look at my board. So we'll probably grab ourselves Fred Warner. But maybe we've played ourselves into the Braden Smith or Brian O'Neill deal. Who else can we grab? I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out who's available on the board. You never know what's going to happen in the second and third rounds. Anything's possible. I wish they would give us mock drafts for every round, but whatever. All right, let's start drafting. We don't have a first round pick, so we'll see who the first couple picks are, and then we'll move on. Baker goes number 1. That wasn't who was projected. It was projected Josh Allen. So Baker still goes number 1. Sam Darnold to the Bills. Bradley Chubb to the Steelers. Roquan Smith. There goes Josh Allen to Houston. Saquon to the Bears. Josh Rosen to the Raiders. Quentin Nelson to the Eagles. DJ Moore. Jair Alexander. Vita Vea. Minka. Okay, so let's skip to our pick. Skip to our pick. Nick Chubb was the final pick of the first round. That's how he was projected. Okay, so there are some people on our board. Calvin Ridley is still here. I do like that, but I run the risk of missing out on Fred Warner. And I want Fred Warner more than I want Calvin Ridley, I think. Even though it says round 2 to 3, there's probably no shot that Fred Warner makes it to round 3. I know that there is a possibility. It's not 100% that he gets drafted in the second round, but it's highly likely that he does. I can't pass up on Fred Warner. I want him too bad. I want Fred Warner. Boom. We got ourselves our middle linebacker of the future, hopefully. I know it says he's a left outside linebacker, but we'll play him at middle. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a big pickup. Dallas Goedert, Frank Ragnow. A lot of offensive linemen going off the board. Tremaine Edmonds, Colton Miller. I'm hoping that there's an offensive lineman that falls. I was hoping it'd be Braden Smith, but I didn't think he'd actually fall. Jesse Bates, Kerryon Johnson. We'll go to the third round and see who's available. Third round. Remember, we don't pick again till the 5th round, so we gotta make it right here with whoever we pick. Not a whole lot of options. We're gonna have to go somebody defensive because I don't like any of the options on the offense. So it's gonna have to be, maybe it's a corner. But we can grab Trey Flowers and J.C. Jackson down the board, so we don't need to get a guy that's like a Teron Johnson, even though we know he's around 3 to 4, or a Carlton Davis, who's probably pretty good. we can get similar value with Jackson and Trey Flowers. But if we grab a D tackle like a BJ Hill, that might be something, because we do need to replace Atiba Rubin, and we have Javon Hargrave, but Javon Hargrave is like not super high overall. I think he's like a 73 or something. I think I'm gonna go BJ Hill here. He might not be a development trait, and he's not, but I'm just hoping that he's a high overall, or high enough overall. So we'll see what happens there. Now we don't pick again to the 5th round, so I doubt that there's going to be anybody that's really good here. What's our board even look like? So Phillip Lindsay, Allen Lazard, Trey Flowers is still available. So J.C. Jackson got taken, but Trey Flowers is here. I'll take Trey Flowers. Normal development, but it adds another corner to the team. And then we have 2 6th rounders. I probably should pick up a receiver because we lost Josh Gordon. So who's a receiver available? James Washington is available. Deion Kane, Ray McLeod. I think this has got to be a James Washington pickup. He's got not great speed, but I know he has development traits, so I think it's only star, but it could be good. He's going to be a low overall, but at least that development trait's there. And then we have another 6th round pick. So we need to draft probably a running back because we don't have a lot of running back depth. Probably Phillip Lindsay because I think he has either superstar or star. So bing, Phillip Lindsay on the team as a backup running back. And that was our final pick. So considering we didn't have a lot to work with there and we traded out of the 1st round, but to be fair, we only technically traded down a couple of spots because we had pick 31 and we got the 1st pick of the 2nd round, so we didn't trade down that much. But I feel like we got good value for what we had. Fred Warner's a 76, then BJ Hill's a 67, 66 for Flowers, Washington's 65, and Lindsay's a 61. So we got a lot of low overall guys, but I feel like we didn't miss out too much. I know Quentin Nelson's the highest overall. It just would have been way too difficult. We would have had to give up way too much to get Quentin Nelson on the team. It would have been unbelievable if we would have been in a spot to get him, but we couldn't. We couldn't give up that much future stuff to get rid of him or to get him on the team. So we moved to the 2018 NFL season. We're the defending AFC champions looking to get back to the Super Bowl. Are we worse than when we were on the team, or when we were last year? We might be a little bit worse. But we've got Fred Warner now on the team, which makes it interesting when it comes time to figure out what we want to do with everybody else, because now we have like trade bait with somebody. One of these guys could be trade bait for Fred Warner, and Blake Martinez could be that trade bait. You never know. But Javon Hargrave, he's probably going to have to start pretty soon. All right, it's going to be an interesting next episode, that is for sure. But that is going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.